Well, hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here with each of you today. Welcome to Mixed Reality Dev Days. I'm just so excited, to be here with each of you today. I'm gonna give a little hearts to show my emotion as I'm sitting here on stage with you today. Today, you and I make history as we're participating on one of the largest virtual reality shows ever created. All of us. There's almost 2,000 people here today, and we're all wearing different virtual reality headsets, from Oculus to Vive to, of course, our Windows Mixed Reality headsets. And we're also transmitting to YouTube live so that we don't leave anybody behind. If you don't have a chance to be here inside of virtual reality with us, you can also watch from 2D screens. Now, imagine Mixed Reality Dev Days will go on for the next 2 days. And I'm very excited because, we get to, in this immersive live session, sharing every moment. And, we get to create memories together here inside of AltSpace. So let's talk a little bit about the agenda for the next 2 days. We have quite a packed agenda over the next 2 days with hopefully a bit of content for everyone. So excited to be able to be back here for Mixed Reality Dev Days where, it's funny. Last year we did this on the tail end of Build, our developer conference, a physical session where everybody showed up in person. And for Mixed Reality Dev Days this year, I'm just getting the numbers in my ears. We got a 500% increase in the number of attendees to this now entirely virtual conference. So super exciting to see the growth of our ecosystem and the accessibility that this medium can give us. So for the next 2 days, there's just a ton of different tracks going on with hopefully a little bit for everyone. If you're a cloud developer, we just have great content for you, and I encourage you to check out the WebXR content or the great content on our mixed reality services from Azure Spatial Anchors or Azure Remote Rendering. If you're a 3D developer or you're looking to learn about doing 3D development, we have some great content here as well around using Unity or Unreal to do development. We also have great sessions on cross-platform device toolkits like MRTK and Maquette. And tomorrow morning, I'm really excited to be able to join you again here for Fireside Chat, hosted by our regional director and personal friend, Renee Schulte. But my favorite part of being in a conference is the physical presence of what happens in the in-betweens. The in-between conversations we have, the in-between ideas that we create, and ultimately, the connections that we make. So for the next 2 days, we will also have a persistent networking space here to simulate and stimulate more connection. And tonight, we're also going to have a fun social event starting at 6 p.m. So I hope you'll join me tonight and the rest of the Mixed Reality team at 6 p.m., where you'll be able to play some basketball or, a number of other different games, or in a sense, just chit-chat with virtual reality drinks in hand. I hope to see each of you here with us tonight. Now, to get started, there is something amazing about being in mixed reality, because this is not only a live show, but also an interactive one, right? So I'd like to start by celebrating the 5th anniversary of HoloLens, and how better to start than by playing a quiz to start things off between all of us. Ready? Here's how it's going to work. So we're going to play a quiz. First person, first prize, will actually receive a HoloLens 2. Whoever gets second prize will get an HP Reverb. By the way, that's the virtual reality headset I'm using right now to be here with you today. And then third prize will get an Azure Connect. So let's get the quiz started. Oops. There we go. So the game consists essentially of a quiz with 4 multiple choice answers. And the subject is going to be our mixed reality journey. The way that the scoring for the game works is simple. We'll not only, account for correct answers, but importantly, we'll also account for the speed of the response. 7 questions in total. Are we ready? You ready? Set, go. First question. When was the Windows Mixed Reality Immersive Headsets program announced? Few answers coming in. June 1st, 2016 is the right answer. How did the sensor mountings evolve from HoloLens 1, the first generation, to HoloLens 2? Magnesium to carbon fiber. How many joints does hand tracking provide per hand on HoloLens 2? Good developer question. How many joints per hand on HoloLens 2? If you answer 26, you would be correct. Adam and Pedro are fighting it out for number 1. This is a good one. What app was demoed at the HoloLens unveiling in January 2015? If you answer Holo Studio, you were correct. All right. HoloLens 2 achieves what motion to photon latency? How long we take from motion to photon? If you answer 9 milliseconds, you would be correct. Good job, Pedro. Adam still with commanding lead. All right. Azure Remote Rendering has demonstrated rendering of up to how many polygons? If you answered 1 billion, you would be correct. And for the last question, what was the original name for AltSpace VR? Qualia 3D. This is the one question that I learned as we were doing this quiz, by the way. So congratulations to Tipatat, Azure Connect coming your way. Adam, my friend, you are getting a beautiful headset from HP. And Jared, you are now the proud owner of a spanking new HoloLens 2. Now, because this is mixed reality, virtual reality here in AltSpace, we know who you are and we have your contact information. So if you want one of the prizes, 1, 2, or 3, I'm happy to tell you that we will be reaching out to you right after the show and getting you your prizes. Now, as your host, as I'm watching this, I can't tell you, I can't express how energizing it is to see each of you expressing your emotions through the quiz, through emojis. So thank you. It does make me feel a lot more sure-footed to see all of this love, and I get to see it across all the different rooms, which is just exciting to see. Now, to all our supporters and fans around the world, I just want to start the conversation with a huge sense of gratitude and a huge sense of thank you. We started this journey together 5 years ago, and it really is because of you, your great feedback and your enthusiasm, that what was once fiction, what was once just a dream, is today a reality. Today, mixed reality is no longer a vision of the future, a prototype, or a proof of concept. Today, most of the top 500 Fortune 500 companies have purchased HoloLens 2 and are moving from pilots to at-scale deployments of their solutions. 5 years into this journey, we are no longer speculating on the value that mixed reality brings. Take, for example, from automotive to manufacturing, where Packard was able to reduce overall training time by as much as 85%. I mean, let's think about this. As soon as a company like Packard reduces training time by as much as 85%, they get to save millions and millions of dollars in the process. And for manufacturing, why not jump to education, where our friends at Case Western Reserve University have been teaching anatomy classes inside of mixed reality now to improve student learning. Now, using HoloLens in a controlled study, they were able to increase knowledge retention for their students by as much as 150%. Or how about aerospace, where Airbus is presently deploying HoloLens 2 to help their engineers reduce overall design validation time by as much as 80%. Really, wherever people are doing work today, they're experiencing and they're deploying the power of mixed reality. Whew. My friends, most of you here in the audience from all of these partners of ours, you have been extremely busy since we launched HoloLens 2 November of last year. All of these deployments, all of this action is really been done, obviously over the last 5 years, but really over the last 6 months. And I'm extremely grateful for the partnership. And here at Microsoft, here in the mixed reality team, Team HoloLens, we have been listening to and actioning on all of your great feedback, from big to small. So since we launched mixed reality, we are able to, just a second, my setup just give me 1 second. So since November, sorry about that, apologies. Since November, to address all of this amazing feedback, we've had one major operating system release with 6 monthly updates and as much as 20 insider flights. To put it in perspective, this addressed nearly 750 feedback items, and we were able to add 24 major features. Now, this includes autopilot, it includes FIDO2, and it also includes USB for mobile broadband, and much, much more. Now, this makes HoloLens 2 simply the most capable, most secure, and most enterprise-ready mixed reality solution in the market today. Now, if you haven't had a chance to download our new operating system, I encourage each of you to go to Windows Update and get it. It's an amazing product, and I hope you'll love it. And please keep giving us, all this amazing feedback. Now, I know it has been tough to get your hands on HoloLens 2 since we launched it in November. Demand for it has just been incredible. It already has surpassed demand for HoloLens 1 by more than 7 times. And usage demonstrates that, unlike HoloLens 1, which consisted mostly of pilots, HoloLens 2 is being deployed prominently in production environments. HoloLens 2, we can already observe usage that is 4 times higher than HoloLens 1. So 7 times the demand of HoloLens 1 and 4 times the usage of HoloLens 1. And I'm excited to share that since November, we have more than doubled our manufacturing capacity for HoloLens 2. What this means is that we're now able to also make HoloLens 2 available in 15 new markets. That expands our availability from the original 10 countries we launched in 6 months ago to 25 countries by fall. That's 11 new countries in Europe and 4 new countries in Asia. Now, for everyone that has expressed an interest or is presently on a wait list to order a HoloLens 2, first of all, thank you. Thank you for your patience. And I know we've asked for a lot of patience from each of you. Thank you for your support. And more importantly, thank you for your interest. Now, we have been working through the backlog, and I expect everyone who has expressed interest to have an opportunity to buy a HoloLens 2 over the next 2 months. And I'm excited to announce that starting in July, so 2 months from now, we will open HoloLens.com so that anyone, anywhere, can order one. So to our customers and fans, huge thank you. From Germany to China, from Japan to the United States, and everywhere across the globe. You're the reason we do what we do. The reason that everybody on Team HoloLens and Team Mixed Reality shows up to work every day and pours their hearts and souls into this mixed reality future. So let's take a look at how you are transforming the world with holograms. So let's talk COVID for a bit. As the pandemic, this horrific pandemic has gripped the world, health systems have really become more and more stretched thin. Now, it's crazy the bravery and selflessness of our healthcare workers on the front lines and, the difference that they've been making, which is really life to death for so many people around the world. Now, our role as developers has never been more important. From our ability to help with emergency response and recovery, to our creativity in reimagining the way we live and the way that we work. So in the United Kingdom, National Health Services reached out to us to see if HoloLens could aid in, on one hand, reducing the number of hours nurses, doctors, and other clinicians needed to be exposed to the coronavirus. And yet, on the other hand, continue to provide the best care possible. We jumped at the opportunity. We used HoloLenses with remote assistance to allow experts to look through the eyes of doctors safely from a remote location. As a result, we reduced exposure and conserved scarce personal protective equipment. And as we speak, we are partnering with numerous healthcare systems around the world to try to replicate the work we've done with the United Kingdom. But it doesn't really stop with just helping doctors on the front lines. Companies and consortiums around the world are tooling to build life-saving medical equipment, including ventilators. Now, these groups are being asked to set up, train, and begin producing ventilators in record time. Now, in this race, every single day, every single hour, every single minute that can be saved means potentially another human life saved. Every increase in throughput in manufacturing line is potentially another life saved. So one such inspiring example is from Ford. Ford, as part of the ventilator challenge in the United Kingdom, is using HoloLens to help set up these lines, not only set them up, but also train their workers, almost all of whom have never seen a ventilator, much less built one from scratch. So let's take a look.
The intensive care ventilator is a pretty complicated set of bits, but it breaks down into 4 key modules, and the heart of the device is the vent box, the ventilator module, and that's what's being manufactured here at Dagenham. The workforce here is fresh too. We've brought them from producing engines and other components into producing life-saving ventilators.
With this virtual reality, when I'm wearing this headset, I can dial into someone else. He can see exactly what I'm seeing. So if we get a problem with the unit, he can guide through some of the troubleshooting.
The benefit of me seeing what he can see is I can directly, on top of his vision, create annotations to guide him to specific areas.
Ford has really risen to the challenge, and that's not just Ford the company, it's Ford the people. Beating inside this company is a very strong heart, and people have demonstrated that they rise to the challenge and they put lives first.
Now, this is such an inspiring story, really inspired people and inspired work. I can't help but feel proud that we, all of us, as an ecosystem, are stepping up to help during these unprecedented times. Now, as computing becomes ubiquitous and AI infuses our cloud and our edges with intelligence, we are enabling developers to combine not just the power of HoloLens, but also to combine that with the power of Azure. And last year, we announced Azure Spatial Anchors. Now, Azure Spatial Anchors is a fully cross-platform service that supports ARKit, ARCore, and of course, HoloLens. Put simply, Azure Spatial Anchors enable the birth of the Internet of Holograms, a world where holograms can be shared with others across different devices in different form factors. A world where every device becomes a lens into this connected, mixed world. And I'm very proud that since launch, 1 year ago at Mobile World Congress, we've seen an incredible response with more than 11 million spaces persisted over space and time. From Minecraft Earth, who deployed worldwide using Azure Spatial Anchors, to companies like Minsar that have created a low-code, no-code environment powered by Azure Spatial Anchors. And I'm incredibly proud that this week, here at Build, we have moved Azure Spatial Anchors from public preview into general availability. Now, last year, we also announced the private preview of our remote rendering service. Now, this is a service that helps solve a key problem facing all of our community of developers, from automotive to manufacturing, from architecture to healthcare. Our customers, you, need to see highly precise and detailed representation of your 3D content. Now, remote rendering as a service enables developers to use the power of Azure to directly stream high polygon content with no decimation to HoloLens, streaming high resolution content where and when you need it. Now, last year, we talked about going from 100,000 polygons, which is what we can do natively on a HoloLens, to 100 million polygons rendered in the cloud with remote rendering. And through the private preview of the last 12 months, we have already seen customers deploy holographic scenes on HoloLens 2, powered by a remote rendering service that exceed 1 billion polygons. And I'm happy to share that we just moved Azure remote rendering from private preview, where we had it last year, into public preview so that more customers can take advantage of this amazing, amazing service. So, being a developer conference, MR Dev Days, let's talk a little bit about our developer tools and our developer frameworks. All right, so over the last 6 months on HoloLens 2, Epic has released Unreal 4.25 on HoloLens 2. Now, this is an amazing release for HoloLens as it brings production-ready support for HoloLens 2. It also brings things like promoting. It brings MRTK for Unreal, as well as it's a great integration of our Azure Spatial Anchors for HoloLens 2 and a preview of OpenXR on HoloLens 2. Unity has been super busy over the last 6 months on HoloLens 2 as well. They just released Unity 2019.3 on our platform. Now, this release brings many features, but 3 of my personal favorites are the support for AR Foundation, new XR plugin systems, and a preview of our MRTK 2.4. Now, if you're asking yourself, what is MRTK? And if you haven't played with it, lots of sessions over the next 2 days, I encourage you to go look at it. MRTK is a Microsoft-driven GitHub project that provides a set of components and features used to accelerate cross-platform mixed reality development in either Unity or Unreal. MRTK provides us with basic building blocks for mixed reality development across many different headsets. Now, we recently released MRTK 2.4 on HoloLens 2. Now, this release brings a ton of features as well, but again, some of my personal favorites to keep an eye out for. First, Leap Motion support. Our Unity 2019.3 integration of their XR platform, as well as integrating with Unity's AR Foundation support. Finally, we just also released, and there's some great sessions here over the next 2 days also, StereoKit. Now, StereoKit is another open source mixed reality library, where in this case, StereoKit is about building HoloLens and virtual reality applications easily with a bit of C# and, of course, OpenXR. So over the next 2 days, make sure you check these out. Our developers are here. The people that created these features are here. And we have some great sessions for you to dive in and understand those in a lot more detail. So we talked about, a lot of 3D development, right? These are our 3D engines. Relative question I get asked a lot in the community is, what about, web development? I'm a web developer. What is your, web support for HoloLens? So what do we have for developers? I think this year and over the last 6 months, a lot. And I think web technology plus HoloLens is just an amazing experience. I'm incredibly proud to announce the launch of Firefox Reality with Babylon WebXR support for HoloLens 2. Now, Babylon.js now fully supports WebXR, which is one of the most exciting, news of the last 6 months, which means that web developers can now leverage the power, the beauty, and the simplicity of this fantastic open source 3D rendering engine to create stunning HoloLens 2 experiences that run right in your Firefox Reality browser. And the Babylon.js team has been hard at work building Babylon Native. Now, this is a new addition to the platform that allows developers to create cross-platform native applications with the power of Babylon JS running under the hood. And I'm thrilled that in addition to PC and phone support, Babylon Native is also built with native support for HoloLens 2 applications. The thing I like about Babylon JS is that with its optimized app package sizes and fast iteration time, I think you just love adding these to your tool belts. So again, I encourage you to go watch some of those sessions around Babylon JS or Firefox over the next 2 days. Now you can use web technologies to develop immersive HoloLens web applications. And with that, my friends, I'll conclude with a huge sense of thank you. I hope you hang out in all of the different networking spaces that we have set up for you here over the next 2 days. I hope you'll come hang out with us in social tonight, where again, myself and the team will be there. Come play a game, come ask us questions. And I personally look forward to spending, another hour with you tomorrow, answering a lot of the questions that you have been asking in the community. So with that, thank you.